This video is sponsored by Casetify. More on that later.
Hi, happy Monday. Now the video that I'm recording today is actually one of the first ideas for a YouTube video I ever had. I never figured out how to turn it into an actual video that made sense and had some sort of narrative without it being boring. And so it's been one of the first things written down in my video ideas list before I even made my channel, and I just started brainstorming what it was going to be about. Time kept passing. I still didn't make the video, and it wasn't something that I was that passionate about either. I don't think that this video is some crazy thing that I think needs to be heard by the internet, but I just thought it was kind of fun. Is that a crime? To think that something's fun? And so I never really made it. And then I came up with these videos that I've been making on my He Said Us channel, where I've been reviewing the Harry Potter movies and doing it with this like AI voice that I made that sounds like me. And so it turned into this thing where I was like, this is the perfect time for me to make this video because it's not the normal genre I make, so I can put it on a different channel.
But then I realized that I wanted to make it into a regular main channel video.
And so I finally wrote the script like 2 or 3 months ago, I think. But now I finally finished the video, so keep in mind that the script hasn't really changed much since then. But with that, let me present to you my Will Smith video. That's like 2 years in the making, but I'm making it now. And it's going to be done pretty quick. I wouldn't say it's 2 years in the making. It's not a big... I'm like hyping this video up. It's not a good video. It's not even like a interesting video idea. I don't even know... Now you know Will Smith. He's one of the most famous actors in the world. From Fresh Prince to one of the biggest action stars of all time, Will Smith is a household name for any American family. But as famous as he may be, with a famous birthdays ranking of 197, which rose to a shocking number 36 after the infamous Oscar slap, some may forget about the staggering number of films that he's actually been in. They might just know him as the guy who slapped the guy on the stage, right? The guy. He's the guy. He's that guy. So today I want to not only explore the films that Mr. Smith has starred in over the years, but I want to answer the question, are they any good? So let's play that classic game today. Is that Will Smith movie above 70% on Rotten Tomatoes? We all know the Rotten Tomatoes critic score is the only actual way to tell if a movie is any good. So let's see how good his movies actually are, starting in 1997 with one of his first films, Men in Black, a classic sci-fi film about a guy who really likes aliens or something like that. Of course, this film is a classic. It's got a Universal Studios ride and also other things too. But is this film better than a 70% on Rotten Tomatoes? Time to guess. The clock is ticking. Tick, tick, tick. Of course it is, you stupid idiot. It's a 92%. Who in their right mind would guess that Men in Black is less than a C-grade movie? Seriously, you guys are so silly. What? Seriously? You think I'd come up with this game and you think the answer would be no right off the bat? From 1998, next up is Enemy of the State. Will Smith plays a guy named Robert Clayton, a labor lawyer, and a guy who really loves his family. And he has to kill some guys too, probably, I think. So guess away, is that movie over 70% on Rotten Tomatoes? This game is really great. I've really innovated something new here.
I said yes. Say it. Say your answer.
This film scored a 72% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's right, a 72. That means it did. It is better than 70%. Why do you guys keep falling for this, huh? You think every film is gonna hit the... Everyone loves Enemy of the State, that classic movie that everybody loves. Time to go to the year of my birth, 1999. In Wild Wild West, Will Smith plays a Civil War hero who has to shoot guns and save a racist president. This movie was a hit, making $113 at the box office. Wait, $113? That's not a lot. It's not a lot of, huh? Unfortunately, it only got a 16% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's not even close to 70%. That's actually very far underneath it. That's 54% underneath it. I Am Legend. Wait, nope. No. It's a movie called The Legend of Bagger Vance from 2000. I don't even know what this movie is about. I don't really care that much. It got a 43% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's not even close, actually. Ali is a legendary film from 2001 about that boxer, and his name was Ali. He was real good at punching guys. He could punch them. And unfortunately, Will Smith was not that good at it, because this film got a 68%. He must have only knocked out like 2 or 3 guys max. Cue some joke about how Ali prepared him for that big slap, that classic Oscar slap. Everyone loves that slap. In 2002, Will Smith starred in the sequel to Men in Black. It was actually called Men in Black 2. More aliens, more fun. Since this is Men in Black 2, it should technically get a 184% score on Rotten Tomatoes because it is double of the first movie, right? But no, it actually got a 39%. That's not even half of the first movie score. They should have called it Man in Black, because it should have been half of the first Men in Black. In 2003, Will Smith starred in the long-awaited sequel to one of his first films, Bad Boys. Now this film's called Bad Boys 2. Now, the first Bad Boys from 1995 actually only got a 42% on Rotten Tomatoes, which means that if we're following the trend from Men in Black, that means that this means that Bad Boys 2 should have about a 20% on Rotten Tomatoes. And that is actually pretty accurate. It got a 23%. But man, this movie's fun. It's about a couple of cops. I love everyone loves movies about a couple of cops, right? That shit is awesome as hell, isn't it? Yes. I just want to jump in and reiterate that this film is not some in-depth criticism or commentary on Will Smith's acting skills or to see how good his movies are. This is just for entertainment, and I think it's pretty funny. Don't take it too seriously. Thank you. In 2004, Will Smith suddenly starred in 3 different films. One of them was called Jersey Girl. It was a film that starred Ben Affleck as a music promoter trying to have sex with a book editor. And Will Smith just plays Will Smith. I don't know why.
Although I gotta tell you, the simple fact that the guy who wrote Parents Just Don't Understand is now a parent himself, I think completely makes up for it. It's true.
It got a 43% on Rotten Tomatoes. That same year, Will Smith was in the massive sci-fi action blockbuster, I, Robot. It's a film about a robot named Rodney Copperbottom who tries to find the big robot guy so he can be a big famous inventor. Nope, yeah, that's the wrong movie. This is a film about the year 2035, where robots are everywhere. They're everywhere. Some guy named Del Spooner has to figure out how some guy died. I don't know. I didn't see it. It's a weird movie. It got a 56% on Rotten Tomatoes. Not good enough, Will. That's not good enough. And finally, in 2004, Mr. Smith starred in the massive animated blockbuster that is Shark Tale. This is a movie about a fish who looks and sounds like Will Smith, falling in love with a fish who looks and sounds like Angelina Jolie, and Martin Scorsese's in it, and he plays a blowfish that looks and sounds like Martin Scorsese. Okay, surprisingly enough, this movie actually got a 94% on Rotten Tomatoes. No, it didn't. It got a 35%. Okay, I'm sorry. It was a bad movie. Did you actually fall for the joke? You actually fell for when I said it got a 94% on Rotten. It was a horrible movie. You and I both know that was a bad movie. Let's move on to the golden years. 2005, where Will Smith stars in a movie called Hitch. Will Smith plays a dating coach who tries to get Kevin Smith a girlfriend. I thought Hitch was like an action shooter movie. Did I write down the wrong synopsis? Tall, thin, smooth-talking guy shows some ugly weirdo how to get a hot lady. Very cool movie. Unfortunately, it got a 68% on Rotten Tomatoes. Oh, so close to success, but unfortunately, we have not found it. Okay, it's been years and we have not found it. Hey, let's take a second to talk about the sponsor for today's video, Casetify. Are you sad because you don't have any way to publicly show your interests in the form of a phone case? Well, boy, do I have the solution for you. I have partnered with one of my favorite artists, Day Off Limited, to create a Nick is Not Green Casetify case. In 3 cool colors, this case is everything you need to find friends and be cool. Casetify's new Impact and Ultra Impact cases have been made with 65% recycled and plant-based materials material so you know that your phone cases are coming from a good place. Their Chi-Tech 2.0 technology also offers drop protection up to 9.8 feet, and I can prove it. There's no stopping this baby from protecting my phone. They also have an endless amount of curated print options that can help you pick a case that fits you. You can even personalize a case of your own like I did with this little lava lamp case that says Stinky on it. Finally, the cases feature Defensify, which is an antimicrobial coating that kills 99% of bacteria. Casetify cases are a perfect gift option for any family member or friend who may need a gift, so please show them who's boss and get them a freaking case. So if you want to be just like me and get your own Nick is Not Green Casetify case, or any other Casetify case for that matter, go to casetify.com/nickisnotgreen and get 15% off of your order. Thank you to Casetify for sponsoring this video. Let's get back to the fun. In 2006, Will Smith produced and starred in a film called Pursuit of Happiness. This is where he helped Jaden Smith, his son, learn how to do karate and beat up some guys. It was very sentimental and everyone loves this movie and they cry. They cry when they watch it, and it also got a 67 on Rotten Tomatoes, unfortunately. In 2007, Will Smith starred in I Am Legend. It's a zombie movie where Will Smith has a cute little dog. He's so cute and little, and he's so nice the whole time, and they survive the zombie apocalypse. It's very intense and sad, and it's got a lot of action in it, and it got a 68% on Rotten Tomatoes. Gosh dang it. So close. Once again. When are we gonna hit 70? It's been years. It's been years. Maybe, okay, let's try again. Next year. What's the next? In 2008, Will Smith starred in and produced a film called Hancock. This is a superhero film about the founding father, John Hancock. He fell in a vat of juice and he turned into the Hulk, I think. Will Smith. Will Smith. It got a 41% on Rotten Tomatoes. Okay, so a quick side note, I may have messed up the script a little bit for this video. There were all these little moments that I totally should have mentioned that previously convinced me to make the video in the first place, but then whatever source I looked at for all of Will Smith's movies didn't tell me all of his movies, so like I missed a bunch of them and I kind of screwed up the storytelling. So just if you see me in this outfit, just close your eyes and just listen to me. Try not to think about all of the jumps back and forth, okay? In 2008, Will Smith had another movie called 7 Pounds that he also produced. It was this movie where he would go out and just kind of give his body parts out to everyone who needed it to survive so he could win Donor of the Year every single year. And then he fell for this girl who had some heart condition and she needed a heart, and craziness ensues because it's like, oh, do I give the heart to her? Yada, yada, yada. It got a 27% on Rotten Tomatoes. Will Smith got a little bit tired and he decided to take a break from acting for a few years to start producing some films like Lakeview Terrace, The Secret Life of Bees, 7 Pounds, The Karate Kid, and This Means War. And the critics weren't that big of a fan. The critics weren't a big fan. Finally, the hiatus is over, and 4 years later, in 2012, Will Smith had a huge comeback with the third film in the Men in Black series. What is it called? What is it? Men in Black 3. This film was majorly hyped and it was bound to be a hit with the critics. It scored a 68% on Rotten Tomatoes. In 2013, after Earth was released, this was the sequel to Pursuit of Happiness, where Will Smith and Jaden Smith go to space and do stuff in space. It's like Pursuit of Happiness in space. And it got an 11% on Rotten Tomatoes, more like Pursuck of Happiness is what I wrote down in the script. That's a good joke, past Nick from 2 or 3 months ago. Pursuck of Happiness instead of Pursuit of Happiness. In 2014, Will Smith had a role in the modern adaptation of Shakespeare's Winter's Tale, and it bombed with a 13% on Rotten Tomatoes. Will Smith actually produced the new Annie. It was a progressive and wholesome take on a classic musical with that one Jay-Z song. It got a 28 on Rotten Tomatoes. Guess you could say Will Smith had some hard knock strife after that one. Why would I, what? The script is dated, okay? It was from early 2022, okay? It's a little old. In 2015, we got Will Smith in 2 films called Focus and Concussion. It got a 56 and a 58% respectively. The Suicide Squad, an amazing film about a strange group of anti-heroes who have to save the world when the Justice League can't. It was actually my favorite theatrical release of 2021, and I was super happy with the way that James Gunn pulled off such a quirky yet explicit comic book story. Oh, okay, we're not talking about that Suicide Squad. Will Smith was not in that Suicide Squad. The one from 2016? Yeah, okay, wait. Yeah, no, that got a 26%. That one was really bad. That was not a good movie. Collateral Beauty is a film from 2016 about Howard, a successful New York advertiser. 14%. Bright was a Netflix original about a cop who teams up with an orc to embark. I still can't believe this movie's real. I remember seeing the trailer for it, and I don't know what they were thinking about that one. Apparently audiences actually did like it though. Like, people liked it. But unfortunately, it got a 27% on Rotten Tomatoes. If the critics don't like it, it's not a good movie. No, it's not. We always have to trust the critics. Oh, Aladdin. Such a classic film. I can show you the world. Oh, yeah, no. That was he was in the live action one. Yeah, that was a 57%.
Excuse me, boy, where's your boss?
In 2019, Student of the Year 2 was released. It's this Bollywood film about this guy named Rohan who follows his lover Mridula to university and hopes to reunite with her, and then he makes friends with the cool kid at school whose name is Manav, but then he also has a lot of issues with his sister Shreya. And that stuff causes a lot of conflict about his time at university. Oh yeah, also Will Smith is in this movie. He plays himself. This movie got a 6% on Rotten Tomatoes. Also in 2019, Will Smith starred heavily in the action sci-fi film Gemini Man. This film has double the Will Smith as usual, so we should be seeing a drastic change in the score. I seriously cannot tell you if that is going to be a positive or negative thing. But hey, Gemini Man was a game changer in the world of visual effects and de-aging technology. Just look at this classic scene from the film.
Passport, birth certificate, driver's license. Apparently you got pretty good credit. I love the name you chose. Jackson? My mother's name.
It got a 26%. I just can't do this anymore. I'm sick and tired of Will Smith just getting beaten to death by these stupid movie critics. You give them Will Smith and they hate it. You give them a tiny little bit of Will Smith and they hate it. You give them too much Will Smith and they hate it. And of course, again in 2019, he decides to do some shitty animated movie called Spies in Disguise with Tom Holland, where he turns into a pigeon and he solves special agent cases, and it just looks like a shitty... Wait. What am I seeing here? The film got a 77%. We did it. We passed the threshold. My God. We did it. We really did it. All we needed to do is just take Will Smith out of the film entirely and then animate him as just a completely different person, and then the film would succeed. Now this led into 2020, where the third film in the iconic series Bad Boys was released. The film was called Bad Boys 3. Wait, huh? It's not? It's called Bad Boys for Life? That doesn't really make that much sense to me. It sounds like the fourth film in the series, Bad Boys for Life. Was there a spin-off, like a Lion King 1.5 type thing that I didn't know a lot about? I mean, either way, the film got a 76%. That's another big win for Will.
You know they say you're dead, fuck boy.
And then finally, in 2021, the film King Richard shows Will Smith as Richard Williams, the father of Serena and Venus Williams. The film is driven through the relationship between a father and his daughters and shows the uplifting journey of a family who has so much love and passion for the sport of tennis that they produce two of the world's greatest athletes. The film was highly praised by critics and fans alike and got a 90% critic score and a 98% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes, resulting in Will Smith receiving his first Oscar ever after an otherwise boring night at the most recent award ceremony. So that's it. That's the video. That's actually the video. Now, okay, after all the jokes I've told today, there is a moral to the story. Do not listen to the Rotten Tomatoes critic score. It's doo-doo, it's garbage. The way that Rotten Tomatoes does their critic scores is actually based off the percentage of positive reviews and not by the average of the actual review scores, because they don't really have a scoring system. It's just like fresh or rotten. So if a film is just kind of mediocre and it's mildly disliked by a lot of people, it's very easy for the score just to be way lower than everyone expects. A film could just be kind of meh to a lot of critics, and 80% of them could say no thanks, and then the film just gets a 20%. And the most important aspect of all of this is that film critics watch and analyze films in a very different way than an average movie watcher, and in a very different way from one another. That's why all of our favorite movies aren't Catcher in the Rye. Is that a movie or is that just a book? Did they do a film adaptation? I meant to say Casablanca? No. Citizen Kane. If you look at the audience score on Rotten Tomatoes for a lot of these things, you'll see that the difference in score is way different most of the time. There's a lot of these films that were rotten by Rotten Tomatoes standard, but the fans actually loved it. Although with audience scores, you do have to factor in if there is a social or political reason that the score is very high or low, like with Captain Marvel, for example. Not a great movie though. And often there are franchises where there's just such a huge fan base supporting this film that even if the film isn't that great, it'll get a really great audience score. Look at Spider-Man No Way Home. I'm sorry, I had a fun time watching it, but how is this movie a 98% audience score and a 93% critic score? That is unbelievable. It's not a good movie. I had fun watching it. Spider-Man is my favorite. It's not a good movie. It's not good. Anywho, thank you for watching. If you want to see more videos like this, I really had fun shooting this actually. I'm very glad I decided to do it. I think it might turn out to be a good video, so who knows? Who knows? But stick around for more and let me know if you want me to make more. I'm posting all the time on my second channel, like 3 or 4 times a week over there. I'm like a freaking madman. Both channels are growing like crazy. Hopefully by the time this video comes out, this channel has hit 500,000 subscribers, which is just bonkers to me. It is unbelievably bonkers. I mean, this is literally my dream job and I love every single part of me doing YouTube, even with all the crap that comes with it. It is the best job in the world. You should be jealous. I'm the luckiest person ever. And you should go check out He Said Us because I do want to put out more videos there. I'm continuing to do my Harry Potter series as slow as I may release it. I'm continuously doing it and the channel is growing and it's doing great, and so I'm very happy for that. Thank you again for giving me your time. If you made it to the end of the video, I'm so happy you had the chance to watch this. Please leave a comment down below and let me know what you think, or just share it with a friend. Anything you do will help support the channel. Even if you hate it and you dislike it and you hate me, it's good for the algorithm. Anyways, that is all from me. I hope you have a wonderful week. I've been Nick is Not Green. I will be Nick is Not Green, and I am him also. Bye.